Are you interested in finding out how they've ruined the War Within already?
Oh, already? That's impressive.
Yeah.
Well, one thing, they have continually said it's not class skins.
Yeah.
Now,
but,
I think they had a problem where it felt like class skins in some of their earliest marketing. But since then, I have noticed they've continually said these are not class skins. These are ways to lean into a certain vibe with your class. That's it. They have specifically multiple times said it's not class skins. So it's that sort of weird thing where if we just sort of go and say they're not class skins, everyone, I'm so angry about this. Blizzard be like, we didn't say they were class skins. We, in fact, multiple times in multiple interviews told you all that they're not class skins. Could you please stop judging them as if they're class skins? So it's that weird thing of like, what do a lot of people want? Class skins. That's not what this is. And it's not trying to be that. But the problem is they, for some reason, right, it's a food analogy. It's like brown rice versus white rice. Listen, I know the brown rice has still got the germ in it and whatever it is, so it's technically healthier.
No, it's not.
But great.
Brown rice isn't actually
fantastic.
At all.
Well, I was always told the brown rice was healthier, but I always thought, well, screw that. What do I want? White rice. How do I want it? Sticky as fuck. In my gullet. Immediate blood sugar. Let's go.
Cooked and chicken stock. Let's go.
So it's that kind of thing where you're like, hey, Michael, would you like this? Something delicious thing with rice. I'd be like, oh, yeah, let's go. Because I'm excited about that thing. I sit down. It's like, it's brown rice. It's overdone. It's not clumped together. I'm like, oh. So it's a bit like that with class skins.
Yeah, well, Joshua Evan asks, what are you guys talking about? Good question, actually. We should maybe make that more clear.
So hero specs.
Hero specs.
They may. Oh no, I feel. But that's just one of those things where it's like, you don't know that people are going to get that idea because they haven't got that idea because it hasn't happened yet. That sounds completely insane. That's actually just me talking about causality.
They let the
We're not violating causality, but like, yeah. So they call them this, and I suppose for people are like, oh yeah, Hellcaster, or Hellcaller.
I really want to be Templar. I really want to be. Which of these were cool again?
Rider of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's cool as shit. Rider of the Apocalypse. Hell yeah, I want to be that. I want to be Mountain Thane. Yeah, that's like the fucking hero from Warcraft 3. Give me that shit.
Rider of the Apocalypse. You could be a rad Death Knight.
You could be
awesome.
Could be, yeah. Yeah, you want to be a Farseer Shaman. That sounds cool. What other ones called? Frostfire, Sentinel, Dark Ranger Hunter. I think we're going to talk a little bit about Dark Ranger specifically because that's the one that's...
What this is the new from level 60 to 70, 70 to 80 even.
Do you play this game, Michael? Don't answer that honestly. So here's what they are. They're talent trees. They're mini talent trees that you have access to on top of your existing talent trees.
I think they're cool. I actually do need to. I
thought they were cool, and then I looked at the Battlefield one, and my brain went, abort mission, get me out of here.
Talk about playing WoW as a next topic. Because I'm continually seething because I've not been able to play enough because I've basically just been trying to solve problems and make things good here. But it's actually getting to the point where I go home and there's like two things in my head. It's make a really good Notion template and play World of Warcraft. And I keep having to do the Notion template because that's useful for like other people here. But I'm like, and then me and Dakor, we've been talking about like, God, you know what'd be really cool? Just having fun in WoW for him instead of all the sweat stuff. So maybe I actually do want to talk about that in a little bit. But anyway, these hero specs. Sorry for breaking the flow on you, everyone. They're basically, they're that. You've talked about them. I think some will be better than others. Blizzard overtly said, because I do want to be fair to them, they overtly said that they want to get the designs for these out early, and they want to do that so they can iterate heavily. They even said, like, if you think that some of these ideas of like a fantasy are lame, tell us. They literally said that at BlizzCon.
Some of the Warlock boys, Soul Harvester, Hellcaller, Diabolist. What the fuck is this Conduit of the Celestials?
Lightning Rod? Yeah.
What? Okay, cool. Sure, fine. Well, you can immediately tell there's some of these that aren't that exciting, basically.
Yeah, and I think knew some of that themselves, which is why they asked for feedback. So
they're like, this is some first draft shit.
Yeah,
please.
it's to say that they were fairly open and they were overtly receptive to feedback, and they continually said that they're not class skins. And it's that challenging thing. This has an overlap with an ideal version of the thing that we all can agree would be really awesome if they could do it.
Yeah.
And it has enough of an overlap that it then conjures in your mind what a full Dark Ranger sub-spec or something would be.
Yeah, and this is exactly why I've seen it be connected to Garrisons too, in the sense that it's like, this is, it's not even like it's trying to be. It's literally just, this is kind of, we can't commit to giving you exactly what you want for whatever reason, be it production heavy, be it we don't think it's a good idea, etc., etc., etc. But like, obviously, as like Saffras points out, it's like, we could have just had class skins that are completely optional aesthetics change, but instead you're forced into two options that might not fit. Mm-hmm. And now we could have just had is a massively loaded statement, because it's like, what's your source for we could have just had? But from the player perspective and experience, you go, well, would you rather have some extra gameplay choices that are in here? It's like, yeah, they want to increase power. They want to give us more talents. And this is their solution. Their solution was, we can make mini talent trees, but we have to frame them in some capacity. Oh, this is a good idea to add little bits of tiny bits of fantasy. Yeah. So we can create effectively what are really miniature subspecs. And we'll have those subspecs shared because we kind of like a little bit of that. Just have them shared. Makes more sense. We don't have to do one individually. We can like make them kind of work across, so you can have access to these aesthetics and these kind of, not class skins, but these abilities, right? So obviously, if you want to be a Dark Ranger, that's for BM and for Marksmanship Hunter. So like, you want to be a Dark Ranger? Yeah, you can be a Dark Ranger without being locked into one specific spec. That's cool. What is Dark Ranger? You get Black Arrow and a couple of things. I think the problem is someone goes, well, do you want to be a Dark Ranger, or do you want to be, a Shadow Pan monk, or do you want to be a Mountain Thing? People are like, what have people had in their heads for these specs, these kind of additional aesthetic addition to classes, all these aesthetic overrides of things? Because one of the things they pointed out was the Mountain Thane Warrior literally changes abilities, gives him more of that vibe. Mm-hmm. I can't remember what it was. It was like there's more lightning during Thunderclap. You can Thunderclap a lot more. There's is it like Stormbolt splits and hits like 3 targets with Lightning Blast as well? The stuff that you're like, that's kind of crazy. That feels like a tiny version of what we could have with a full overhaul. And that's where we get into like this really full this, like, I guess basically it is just an issue of people wanting a thing and not getting it directly, getting it slightly in a different format.
Yeah.
But it's not supposed to be that. But it still takes away from that.
Yeah.
Because the problem of the player looking at this is cool, but I wanted this. And they're like, we were never offering you that as a binary choice. But it's almost like, hey, you're hungry? Well, here's some here's a bottle of Lucozade. And you're like, sure, there's sugar in that. Sure, but I was hungry, not thirsty.
It is of type consumable, but it is not of subtype food. Therefore, I'm unsatisfied.
Yeah, it's someone's hungry, and you don't give them something to eat. You give them something to drink that's reasonably nutritious, something along the lines of like a Gatorade in the US or whatever else. Or like, cool, that's not it. Can I have the food? They're like, we weren't offering you food.
So certainly going through our statistically significant, absurdly representative, commensurately true subsampling of tweets, which obviously represents the entire World of Warcraft community.
Yeah, full on, like, walking out the street and picking random people. Like, this is what this is. This is what this is. It's like, it feels like a half measure. Even though from creation, it isn't in any capacity designed to be that. It's not supposed to. It just feels this way.
So certainly,
especially with now, obviously, a lot of these people are people who are not gameplay oriented, as far as I can tell from looking at them. So they're immediately going to go, why do I have to pick talents that make me look cool? Why can't I just fucking look cool? Which is, you're going to get a lot of the problem, right? Where this is gameplay design that is smuggled in under the aesthetic change.
Yes.
Or that's how it feels like, people who want the aesthetic change.
I think what I will say, if I'm going to plant my flag in the ground in this one, is I think class skins would be absolutely fantastic.
Absolutely.
I did not expect class skins. I am not disappointed that we're not getting class skins. I realistically think that they probably have a lot of artists working on big features for Midnight. I think that
class skins Midnight is
take like animation department. I know that they have a pretty damn heavy workload as they update all of the mounts, or at least as many as they can do. So, like, yes, more things in the best way possible would be great. Obviously, 10.2.6 is player housing. That's Holly's surprise confirmed. But I'm still, I'm not going to be like, well, because it's not the best version of what it could be, I hate it. Because as I look at this, I'm like, you know what? Sure, that seems like a cool way of letting me lean into some different things for my, for my classes. And I also respect that they're doing it in a way where they're not kind of committing to infinite vertical progression of the talent trees. Yeah. So, like, for me overall, I'm like, this seems reasonable and positive.
Yeah. Because that's what it is in isolation from expectation.
Yes.
It's the problem of expectation brings dissatisfaction over the quotas. It's like, you go, I would have liked class skins. You're like, you brought class skins to the table. No one ever said class skins. No one was ever vaguely considering it. But you brought it to the table. Thus, being disappointed is on you. But also, there's the reality of if your players are disappointed, then that is your problem to deal with as a developer. Which is really annoying.
Yes.
But it's also literally true. Like, how do you deal with this? Extremely good communication and doing the right thing at all times. Which is kind of the problem.
So let's take a look at Dark Ranger then.
Actually, just before you say that, actually, like, that's a good point, Pavlov. It takes away from the chance of us getting class skins, like a Battle for Gilneas. Yeah, it's like this is now...
Fair, that's a good point.
There is overlap between this and class skins, which now means because this has happened, we're substantially less likely to get class skins. Almost completely unlikely to get them, because you're not going to get a Dark Ranger skin. That changes all your stuff to Dark Ranger. If you've got a Dark Ranger ability called Black Arrow, that's there. And that's one of the other problems where it's still like, class skins were never even brought to the table as like a possibility ever. But it's just, we've wanted it, expected for so long.
Yeah, it's just some people have made really cool looking bits of art and put them in Reddit, and everyone's went, oh, look at that. And then all the artists at Blizzard have probably thought, oh, look at that. And then their producers and team are like, yeah, but we sort of have to ship the game. Slight problem.